Oh my god, I thought you ended up on the wrong side of TikTok for a minute. I'm so glad I read all 3 comments. But dead ass, she gives me weird vibes. Is not credible for court. They keep saying, oh, she tried to kill us. She terrorized us. And my only question is, why did a 6, 7, and 8-year-old girl feel it necessary to hide knives over the entirety of that home? Now, for me personally, I hid them in my room where I knew I needed them at nighttime. Because in the daytime, my monsters weren't appearing in public in front of the household. You know, they like to creep in the middle of the night. She felt so traumatized, violated, and petrified that she hid knives over the entirety of their house in every fucking room. And I know that not everybody's adoption story is like mine, and I know that not everybody has suffered the trauma that I have. But I ask you again, in the name of psychology and psychiatry, to dissect this case. They had bio kids. Were those kids younger or older? Because why did you not know that a female can start menstruating and starts hitting puberty between 8 and 12 years old normally? Now, I know sometimes those are considered early bloomers, and some girls are 13 to 16. That's fine. But the broad spectrum is very clear, and I say that being a 9-year-old in a training bra, the only 9-year-old in a fucking training bra in my grade, in my school, in my fucking hometown, the only 9-year-old with a period, that I didn't know what it was when it came, because my parents did not prepare me for it. My brothers had to. I'm just saying, ain't none of my kids at that age hid knives in my home while I was there or present. And that's because my kids knew they never needed to. I would take somebody's last breath with my bare hands over what's mine, and those are mine. This little girl never felt that love. She never felt that protection. And this is not her first adoption. And what really freaking perturbs me is seeing these other creators talking about, oh, she could just be readopted. She's not a fucking dog at a pound. And this wasn't her first fucking adoption. What's crazier is that I think that they had her birth certificate changed and her age changed so that they would not be criminally or legally liable for the abuse and abandonment and neglect of that child. Who in the fuck takes an 8-year-old girl and drops them off in an apartment by themselves? How did she cook and clean for herself? Who made sure she had proper hygiene? Because, you know, they consistently talked about the odor coming from her, yet she wasn't comfortable enough to help her adopted daughter with hygiene. Why do you think that is? And then you add in the fact that Natalia had dwarfism and the extreme medical issues that can come along with that, including hormone issues. It's just flabbergasting to me. Flabbergasting. There's nothing that I think anybody could ever say to make me switch sides. You cannot blame the traumatized child that you bought and trafficked from another country for being traumatized, for them not being the perfect, picture-perfect kid for your little instant family in a box. Logically, any child that is not biologically yours is going to have issues, and that is for mental health studies, that is for medical studies. I didn't make the rules, I'm just sharing them. When you separate children from their mother at a young age, it causes extreme issues in socialization. This lady acts like this child was so evil, she was so bad. She was a child who was scared. I'm scared just hearing the stories. I can imagine my childhood just combined with hers. And the fact that the dad went on the fucking interview and looked at her and said, well, I was facing the same monster that you were, really motherfucking clicked home for me. Because, bitch, first of all, what do you mean the same monster? You're as big as that woman, I'm not. You chose to marry that woman freely. I was kidnapped. You're telling me that as a grown man, you have the fucking cojones to defend an elementary school aged child that was being abused because what, you were scared of being abused? Shut the front fucking door. He chose his comfortability over that child's protection, over her mental health, over her physical safety, over her medical well-being, period. They do need jail time, and it really fucking perturbs me that they haven't seen it yet. They literally ran to another country and abandoned the child they adopted in an apartment alone at 8 years old, took their bio kids, and then this motherfucker had the nerve to come back for an interview talking about, I face the same monster as you. Bitch, you are the monster. The fuck?